Hey, welcome back to another update of my dividend investing portfolio. So if you're subscribed to the channel, awesome, thank you so much. And if you're new, if this is your first time, what I'm doing is I'm a Canadian investor and I'm buying and selling mostly dividend paying stocks on the Toronto Stock Exchange. I'm using Wealthsimple Trade to do that, which is an awesome no-fee trading app in Canada. And I'm just tracking my progress with this custom Google Sheet that I've made. So looking at where the account is at today, I'm sitting around $18,700 and I have $371 in cash that I'm going to spend in this video. But yeah, so far we're up about $2,000, almost $2,200 for about 13%. 239 of that has come from dividends received, and basically the rest, almost the other $2,000, has come from the increase in the stock price as the markets have been recovering from last year. So the average yield of my portfolio is 4%. Every stock that I hold currently does pay a dividend, and that gives me an annual income of approximately $750 per year, and that's about $62 per month. So this is in my tax-free savings account, so I keep all of that, and what I do is I reinvest all of this back into the account to basically try and get this snowball effect or compounding effect on my account. So I'm not actually spending any of this, but yeah, and I'm choosing, as the dividends roll in, I just kind of lump it in with my deposits, and then I just go from there. I think my last deposit was $350, and there's a little bit here in dividends and leftover cash from the last video. But we can get a quick view here of my sector profile. You can see here that real estate is my biggest section, followed by utilities, and then a whole bunch of other stuff. And here with the holdings chart, you can also get pretty quick overview of what it looks like for me, but also we can just jump into the portfolio tab here and just take a look. So right now I have it sorted by the biggest percent of my holdings, so my biggest positions at the top, and in like decreasing order as we go down. You can see basically only the red ones are related to mostly renewable energy. That whole sector is down a little bit these days, and that's okay. I'm actually going to buy in a little bit more today into Algonquin Power, and then also into Northland Power. I've been holding off on these, but I'm just looking at the spark line. We can take a look here, for example, at Northland Power. No, sorry, let's look at AQN first. The initial drop here recently was hovering down, and then we've dropped a bit more, and I'm just going to jump down there. We're basically at a level that's like before the crash last year, and that's about where I'm comfortable buying in. So I'm just going to put in a little bit, a couple shares here, and then we're seeing something similar with Northland Power. We're still actually quite a bit higher, but down 6%. I think I'm just going to drop in like 2 shares and just reduce my average price just a little bit. Another one that I was looking at to pick up today, I think just 1 share probably, is Bell, which is right here. These guys, just big telecommunications company in Canada. They've actually been on a bit of a run lately, but just looking in the last 5 years, we're still not quite here at the peak that they've experienced, and so I think I'll just drop in 1 while I can. I've been buying a lot of real estate companies lately, and I just want to get a little bit out of that for this week, and then maybe get back into it next week, I think. Some of the other ones that I'm looking at today are EIF, so Exchange Income Corporation. These guys have a really nice yield of 5.86%. They've been on a nice climb for the last year, and I think I'm just going to drop in like 1 or 2 for these guys as well and see if that keeps going. And then also another one that I'm looking at was Manulife Financial, so they are down here. And these guys, big financial corporation, whatever, they have a bit of a dip going on, and I want to jump in on that. We're still above my average price, like I'm still in the green, but this is, I think, a good opportunity for me, a good buying opportunity, regardless of my average price, but just based on kind of the recent prices. So with all that said, let's jump into Wealthsimple Trade, and we're going to go into the tax-free savings account where I'm trading and just take a quick run through here to see what's going on. So down 2% in the last day, ouch. In the last week, up $81, so that's all right. In the last month, we're up 3% for $471. That's pretty nice to see. Last 3 months, we're up 8%. And the last year and all time should be the same because I've been doing this for less than a year. And so we're up 13%, or like you saw in the sheet, just over $2,000. And just a reminder, if you're interested in trying Wealthsimple Trade, you can actually get $10 free if you make a new account and trade your first $100. So that's like an immediate 10% return on your first investment, which is a really nice way to get started. And honestly, it's just a really nice interface to use, and I really like it. So with that said, let's jump in and start purchasing some of the stocks. So we can go for AQN first. This guy, I just want to grab 3 of them. So we're going to take 3 at a market buy. It's going to be just under $60, which is great. We'll place that order and hit done. Okay, so the next one that I was looking at was Bell. That's BCE. that's these guys. I just want to take one of them. They're a bit more expensive. They're $60 each, and that's fine. So we'll take one at a market buy, place that order, hit done. And then also we were looking here at EIF, Exchange Income Corporation. These guys, about $40 each, so I want to take two. That's going to put us at around 77. If you're curious about any of these, in Wealthsimple Trade, they also have some of this information, like the basic market details and a little bit about each company down here. So maybe that's good to read if you're curious about any of these companies that I'm buying. But we can just jump into the next one, which is Manulife Financial, MFC. These guys are around $25 each, and I would like to take three at a market buy. So we'll place that order. And again, we can come down here and just get a quick snapshot of what's going on with these guys, the market details, and a little bit about some of the services that they offer. Okay, the last one that I wanted to pick up is NPI, Northland Power. That's also in the TSX, and you can come down here and get a quick overview just before we buy of their market details, and also just a little bit about them if you're curious to see. But basically all I want to do is just take market buy of two. It's going to be $80, and we have enough in the account to make that work. And so there we go. So what I do now is I would check my activity page, because when you do a market buy, you don't always pay exactly what the price was displayed to you, but here in the notifications tab, you can see exactly what you paid. And you can check here, so that's the total price, and then it'll also display to you the exact price per share that you did. So we're going to take all this information and just go back into the Google Sheet and drop into the transactions tab and just log each of these exact transactions with the numbers that we saw in Wealthsimple Trade. And once all of those are in correctly, then I'm just going to jump back into the summary page and check to see what has changed here. And mostly I'm looking at the annual dividend income. So at the beginning of the video, my annual dividend income was $748, and now we're at $764. So that's an increase of about $16 per year, which is great. That's just about $1.50 a month or something like that, so this is increased, and that's just pure passive tax-free income that I'm going to be using to reinvest into more stocks to continuously grow this bigger and bigger. You can also see here that the average yield has gone up. Before it was 4.00, and some of the stocks that I bought today have a slightly higher yield than my average, and so it's pulled it up to 4.01%, and that's good because I'm usually shooting for around 4%, and so if I can get a little bit on the higher side, that gives me some leeway in the next buys to maybe buy some more growth-oriented stocks with a lower yield but a higher dividend growth potential. So anyways, guys, I think that's it for now. If you like this video, if you like these kind of updates, make sure you hit the like button, and I always appreciate that. And if you have time, leave a comment down below. I always love seeing those too. So guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you down in the comments.